craziness as people are just trying to stack up where this fourth quarter and game belongs amongst the most nutty of this or any other NFL season. Bobby was there in Landover, Maryland.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was the conversation after the game, getting onto the bus from everybody in the media and talking post game was just like, where is this in terms of just insane finishes you've been present for? Babe was talking about. Babe can't really remember one that's up there. The one everybody kept kind of coming up with was the Buffalo game, the 5-interception Romo game, where they recovered an onside kick and then Nick Folk had to make back-to-back 53-yard field goals. But I mean, this is way up there, up the list of just insane finishes in the final 3 to 5 minutes.
At what point did you say to yourself, all right, this is over. All right, the other team's going to win. All right, Cowboys are going to win.
I thought it was over when the game started, that Washington was just going to roll through them. And then at halftime, I was like, all right, they've toyed with them enough. It's like, 9-3 at half. I was like, they're gonna come out and they're gonna score their first possession, and then the game will be they'll get the 2-point conversion. It'll be 17-3, and they will methodically kind of do what Houston did, just methodically pull away and make this like a 26, 27-10 type game.
We went from preseason football, one of the most unwatchable, ugliest games of the year, to pure absolute chaos, as this was, 9-3, 10-9?
10-9.
That's what we were dealing with here. It was hideous. Really a referendum on the Commanders. RJ, you've been having doubt about them throughout the entire season. Now they are clearly slipping as all these points get scored in the fourth.
They scored 24 in the fourth. When was the last time they scored more than 24 in a game?
Baltimore,
week 3. Wow. They had not scored more than 24 in a game.
Buy into us.
In 9 weeks, 8 weeks? And here they do it in the fourth quarter.
Special teams with Bone Fossil packing up his bags in the first half. And then I lost track of the order of things. That's how...
I had to go back and look this morning.
Right?
Yeah, I had to go back and look.
It's all right, where do we start and where do we go in terms of the chronological order? But you got Turpin, the spin move is something I thought of your kids in youth football. I'm like, all right, how many people, is that the next mimicked move out there with what Michael Jackson did with that kickoff return? Turpin with the return. McLaurin, the call on DC radio was insane. Another miracle in Landover. So you got Terry McLaurin. Then you get the missed extra point. Greg Olson on the TV call is like, well, don't celebrate too much yet. We got 2-point decisions on both sides to analyze. And then Juanyeh Thomas with his special teams return and score.
Yeah, the Turpin one with the spin, when you say is that the new move people want to mimic? Turpin was talking post game and they asked him, when you hit that spin move, do you just do you have a way that you set it up and you're gonna do this and that? And Turpin's like, I usually do that when I don't have anywhere to go and I just don't know what to do, so I just spin.
And he fumbled the ball first, mishandled it.
Yeah, he went right through his legs.
Muffed it.
With a 5-hole Billy Butler style.
But, I mean, just the way the defense broke down, that was, who was it? Jacoby Jones, or no, who was the throw down the sideline in the Baltimore-Denver game years ago? Where it's just how do you let that happen that far down the field that late in the game?
The guy who passed away? It may have been. The receiver?
No, that was Jacoby Jones with the receiver, yes, but you're talking about the DB?
No, the receiver. Whoever the receiver was in Baltimore. But Baltimore, same sort of thing. We're just how do you let that happen behind your defense? I mean, there was when you see McLaurin catch the ball and
that was
the first,
Jordan Lewis and Butler involved.
There's 4 people on all sides of him within 10 yards of him. It's how do you not tackle him? That felt like, okay, this is 100% Dallas is losing this game right now. They're going to go for 2 or something. This is going to end it because this is just the most poetic way for the Cowboys to lose.
And I don't know if you caught the same thing, but I see Bobby's all caps text, and I'm like, wait a second, what just happened here? And then I see Peyton send it, and I'm like, well, I'm still a play away from this. I don't know what TV are y'all watching this thing on? Because I don't know, because you and I are in the same TV package. I don't know if you were. They sent the text early, but for some reason, I was 30 seconds behind on this thing.
And that was after which play?
That was the McLaurin TD.
After the McLaurin one. And then you got, I want to know your total range of emotions. That's really what I want to focus on this morning. And we'll have Odyssey app messages and phone calls at 6:40 as we always do on a Cowboys Monday at 877-881-1053. Also the way to Texas on the Franklin LaFranco Injury Attorney text line. At what point did you just get caught up in being a Cowboy fan and being like, yes, awesome play? And then you're weighing and measuring that against Team Tank and saying, no, as the number one line from many not happy with this is the Cowboys, of course, even screw up a way to tank and get the draft pick as the New York Giants are absolutely stinking it up with their situation. Daniel Jones granted his release. Just your range of emotions as a Cowboy fan of, okay, like this is pretty cool. I'm fine with this W.
I mean, look,
from play to play,
just objectively as someone who's covering the team and wants the best possible storyline, I want them to lose. I want to have fun going into April. Like, I mean, at this point, they're not going anywhere in the playoffs. So, do I love this? They were in the same position in 2020.
Don't tell Micah that.
They were 3-7 at the 10-game mark in 2020, and then they close the year. They go 500. They go 3-3 down the stretch. They go 6-10, and they play themselves out of maybe the third or fourth pick, and they end up with the 10th. And right now, they played themselves out of the top 10 with this victory yesterday.
Yep.
I get it, though. It's
11.
It's really, at the same time, when you go into that locker room and you see a bunch of really young players who, you know, a Josh Butler who's got an insane story for his career. When you look at different guys like Chauncey Golston having success, Luke Schoonmaker, who has been ridiculed his entire career, like standing up there and getting talked to about his contributions to a winning effort. You do start to feel for those guys as people and competitors and say, you know what, I can't complain too much watching those guys have success because this is clearly something that's good for their football character as they continue to grow.
You know, the fortunate thing is they really got lucky here. They only dropped 2 spots. It theoretically, you know, if they were say in a situation where they were higher on the board because they didn't have the tiebreakers and they dropped 6 spots, much bigger stink.
But the problem is you lose pace with a Jacksonville.
Right. Oh yeah.
Your distance now from the New York Giants, that stings. Even more. You lose ground on the Raiders, New England, all these teams that are right ahead of you.
What really stings.
I mean, really, what we're talking about is like the Travis Hunter sweepstakes. That's kind of what we're like referring to with all that stuff. I don't know how realistic that was. I mean, there were people thinking they would not win a game the rest of the way. It would be decided upon New York Giants Thanksgiving, but
that's the one that stinks because you're going to wind up winning 2 in a row now. That's the part that really stings with this one is that you know you're going to beat the Giants.
You didn't fall too much, but you had a chance to go up.
Right.
If they lose this game yesterday, they're the 6th pick, and now they're the 11th. And so, I mean, with those margins there, and you've got a Carolina team that would have been ahead of you that's playing better right now that maybe they beat you in a couple weeks, and then you're talking about top 5.
Look, they tried it from an organic tank standpoint. Again, one of the misnomers about tanking, only dum-dums left think that, you know, the media thinks that the coaches and front office go into the locker room and say, now drop that pass.
Guys, got to lose.
Now run out of bounds. Don't try. No, you have to not play guys from a front office and coaching standpoint. No Diggs. No Zach. No Tyler Smith. No Cooks. You did get Deron Bland back. We'll talk about him in Star Up, Star Down. But here is Mike McCarthy inside the locker room with the message after the W.
Congratulations, but I can't tell you how proud I am of you guys. I mean, the messaging, Linville, you talk about nailing it. Let's enjoy this, okay? We know we got a quick week. Let's enjoy the ride home, but congratulations. You guys have earned it. You stayed on point. The messaging, the love, the brotherhood for one another. It's been outstanding, okay? So this is the one we needed. All right, Linville, give me a breakdown. Yes, sir.
Let's go, baby. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No, that was a post-game, Linval, not pre-game. 1, 2, 3, crackheads. Go ahead and get the job done.
I'll tell you who nailed it, though, was I watched some of the broadcast back, some of the stuff at the end, and Joe Davis in between one of the plays when he's like, this is a full bingo card today. That's the way it felt.
McCarthy called it Yahtzee afterwards.
It felt like there were just there was everything you possibly could have seen in this game. I mean, the fact that the special teams was so bad in the first half. And I mean, into the second half, Aubrey kicking the ball out of bounds. He has the 2 misses. You get the blocked punt. And then for it to be such a critical factor late. And I mean, Washington, they had an awful day on special teams with, a missed extra point, 2 missed kicks, or 2 missed extra points and a missed kick, whatever it was. And it's just, it felt like just a entertaining mess. Because I don't think that was necessarily good football we saw yesterday.
No.
But it was exciting, and it was very entertaining.
All right, Micah Parsons has a message to all of us aboard Team Tank.
Yeah, I told you I'm not done yet. I don't plan on tanking. If the higher ups is looking for a draft pick, I hope that's ruined because we got a lot of football left to play. Like I said, as long as I'm a part of this team, we're always going to fight. I'm always going to give maximum effort. I owe it to these guys. I owe it to the fans that come out. I owe it to the brothers in the locker room. So me not playing at my best and me not being here, I'm hurting other people and their families. So, this is deeper than just wins. Like this is, at one point, I think this is just about pride. Like it's easy to play when we're up. People call us front runners, now playing behind the 8 ball. Let's see how we can, handle adversity and see if we can make a playoff run. But we got a long ways to go. We got to win game after game and consistently do that and play good for these next. We got 7 games, 6 games, 6 games.
Micah magically speaking with the media after a W. It's funny how that works after the 2-week boycott.
A lot of tweets, too. Told y'all Mozzie would be great. What are you talking to me about? And, of course, he's already talking smack to the Giants in advance about let a generational talent go, you dumb franchise.
They're only 2 back of a wild card.
What was it like? In the locker room, bus, plane, all of it?
They're all the plane's always a little. I feel like Nick had mentioned this, last week. Nick Eatman had mentioned that when in his first season he saw like a devastating loss and a massive emotional victory, and the plane was the same. The plane a lot of times is just the same. It's the guys are pretty.
Yeah. Don't tell the fans that. They don't hear that.
No, I think they're just level, and they're a lot of times exhausted. They're just resting.
We want to hear you planning music videos recorded out.
Right.
The post game though in the locker room, I mean, it was a different. It didn't feel uncomfortable walking in the locker room like it has for the last several weeks. Everybody was in a good mood.